Hello everybody, this is Sil from the BattleBards podcast. The BattleBards believe that there's two kinds of players in the world. Those who already love video game music, and those that will after listening to our show. BattleBards is the world's first and only dedicated MMO music podcast, and you can find us over at battlebards.libsyn.com, where we discuss and rate soundtracks on a bi-weekly basis. See you there, and thanks for supporting the TGEN network.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
As far as I can tell, we're live. You ready, Freddie?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to read the pre-show? Because I suck at it. I edited last week and it was awful.
1 second, it kicked me out of the notes.
Okay, no problem. We're going to pause for technical difficulties, ladies
For
and gentlemen.
station identification.
And welcome to Multiplaying. Multiplaying is part of the TGEN network. TGEN network is the gaming and entertainment network of podcasts. You should check that out. It's awesome. Let me pop their information. I don't think, you know what, I didn't put it on. I'm a terrible person. I never put it on this Twitch thing. I have it, though.
Okay.
Boom.
Want me to say it?
Yeah, let me mute my ass.
This is Multiplaying episode 124, recorded on Thursday, June 11, 2015. I said a word wrong.
What'd you say wrong?
I think I said recorded.
Do you want to not be Bostonian about it?
Yeah, let me do it again.
Okay. You know what? It's a rare misstep, ladies and gentlemen.
It's tough because I can hear myself like a second delay.
Why?
I don't know.
I have mine
I always
muted.
have.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I have mine turned off. I cannot hear myself in my headphones. I cannot handle hearing myself.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Really? I have mine turned. We'll look into that because I cannot. I don't know. That's why you have a. Whenever we podcast, you have a halting way of speaking.
I stammer.
You do. No. It's more like Obama. Like you talk, like you are making.
Yeah, it
a
messes
point.
with me.
It does. I can't do it either. I don't blame you at all. But like, I have to turn my sound going in off, like from my mic into my speakers, but then keep everything else on. It's a setting you can, if you go into you have to like go into your system specs of your, your headset, but it's not a big deal. It's like, I mean,
Right.
if I figured it out, it's not rocket science. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't, that's why I could never figure out like why you have a different way of phrasing things when you're on the podcast. But oh my God, that is like a breakthrough. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm very excited now. Go ahead and do your thing.
I'll try. This is Multiplaying episode 124, recorded on Thursday, June 11th, 2015.
You nailed that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, you made it your whatever you're into this week. But yeah, like I stamp, like I totally halt because you can't help but listen to yourself because your natural reaction is like you hear that yourself talking and you know it's you, but you still feel like you're talking over somebody, and so you can't help but listen to it, and so you stammer a bit, like not you, but like anyone that. Yeah. Oh, so many things are cleared up. It's really good.
Learn a lot about each other.
Yeah, well, it's just us. Look at this. This is, ladies and gentlemen.
We're just going to do IT for an hour.
Yeah.
Just want to listen.
Actually, I'll start the hosting so we can use some of this. Welcome to Multiplaying 124. On this rare duo show tonight, we have your hosts, Jason.
Yay.
Jason, how are you this evening?
I'm same as I've been all evening. Pretty good.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. How is your beverage treating you this evening?
I've actually got a beverage besides water, and it's kind of not much more than water, but Bud Light.
That's a lovely, refreshing drink as well.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to. We got a critique this week that we shouldn't be drinking water all the time. So the hard part is, though, in the summers we have to record on Thursdays because Fridays are kind of busy. So it's a little harder to have beverages on Thursdays. But I have a Merlot, so I am Shannon.
We're taking one for all of you.
Yeah, I'm doing this for you. We're doing this for quality control, bringing what you expect, whether that's good or bad.
We aim to please.
We're bringing it. It's just the two of us tonight.
Yeah.
Let's
get into a big fight by the end.
It's a rather romantic multiplaying.
Yeah. Can end one of two ways. With us mad or us asleep.
That's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
That's marriage.
All right. So anyway, we were just discussing an audio issue we were having with the podcast. We think we got that cleared up, though. Like, we don't have it cleared up yet, but we can, now that we know about it, clear it up. That you were having with your headset that we've never known about, ever, because we never talked about it before. So
it's going to help me not suck.
You don't suck. It's just, it's really going to help you concentrate on anything.
Yeah. Maybe it'll help. Maybe.
It's going to change the game, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a whole new podcast.
And let's see. Steve's not here. It's weird. I know. He's on vacation. He went to the luxurious Rhode Island this week.
A beautiful couple of miles of land. What's he doing there?
Visiting. Actually, it's family visiting.
I'll say that's got to be it. Because why else would you go?
Yeah, that's totally explain. I'm like, oh, okay, that explains it. Same reaction.
Like when someone says I'm going to Rhode Island, you say, "What is there, a wedding?"
Yes, it's like family.
There's like no other question. What's one of those?
Honestly, though, if someone says I'm going to Michigan,
well, you could know. I'm going hunting. Okay. I'm going to one of the many Great Lakes.
Actually, we have a lot of...
Rhode Island is the wedding state. It's just where people go for families' wedding. It's their third cousin.
Maryland?
That's what they call it, the state. Third cousin state.
Pennsylvania. Well, no, there's a lot of historic reasons to go to Pennsylvania, I guess. But anyway, yeah. So he went there.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
For vacationing. And you're stuck with us. Oh, wow, look, the numbers drop. Wow. God damn, Jason, look at that.
I know you're there. I can hear you leaving.
All right. We have a docket and stuff. We could try to do this. I don't know if this is I don't know if it's a thing at all. I can't find anything, and I tweeted about it, and I can't find anything. I tried to log into Tree and Life earlier this week, and I log in, and I'm going to get right into what I'm gaming with. I'm sorry if I didn't say that. The host isn't here. It's not my fault. So I try to log in, and right away, like after like a few seconds, it crashes. And I'm like, all right, so it does that whole thing where this program is not responding. So okay, fine. So I crash it out, and I try to go back in. I do this all evening one evening, and it's like I get in for like 6 seconds, and the really weird thing is, when I come back online into the game, sometimes I am drastically not in the area that I just crashed in. Like the one time I was in the fort, like when I crashed, and that's where I was supposed to be. And then like the next time I crashed, not only am I not in the fort, I'm across the river, not in the fort, which is significant in space and in terms of protecting myself. So, and yeah, there was an update that morning, and so I was really, really disappointed because there was a whole evening where I couldn't play, and so kind of wanted to get in to see if I could get my stuff fixed in time before it, burned to a crisp or whatever. And I couldn't get in. So I did try out a little bit of that Don't Starve Together.
Yeah, you did? I didn't know that. I got a free copy of that.
Yeah. If you bought Don't Starve, you get a free copy of the Don't Starve Together, and I'm not sure. I got to be honest. I'm not sure how it rolled out as to who gets into their early access when. Some people.
I think they just opened it up recently to everyone who owned.
Did they?
Don't Starve,
Okay, because that was
this past week. I remember seeing something about it.
That was the promise, and you could pay to get in earlier if you wanted to.
It was like a $5 fee or something, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just remember thinking like, but I'm gonna get it, so.
Yeah, that was the cool thing they did, and they just flat out ahead of it said, "You'll get it for free if you wait, but if you really want in."
And the very disappointing, like I was kind of actually really excited for Don't Starve Together. I didn't do a lot of research into it. I just kind of heard like, oh no, it's multiplayer Don't Starve. And I'm like, shut up, that's gonna be awesome. I love the art style of that. I love like the gameplay of it, like, and it's like kind of difficult, like for me, because
kind of difficult is a understatement with that game.
Oh really? Thank you, because I got to like 4 days, and then that's pretty much it. Like,
oh, it's very much made like a roguelike. We've talked. It just, you go as far as you can.
Because other people online are like, yeah, once you get to like 7 or 8 days, like you just go forever. And I'm like, but I can't get there. Like, I can't get that far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are people who can go forever, but I've heard people talk about like if you play long enough and you get to a season change, the game is basically just ramping up difficulty so fast that you're dying at any moment.
Okay.
But you don't like the together part?
It's not that I don't like the together part. The concept is still very, very, very awesome to me. The part I was really disappointed in is that when you go to log in you don't, and maybe, is this NDA at all, do you think?
No.
It can't be, right, at this point? Okay. We'll look into that before we edit, but live people, shush. When you log in, it's kind of like TF2. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. When you log in, it's kind of like TF2, where you log into the game, but then you need to pick a server. They aren't hosting any servers, so you have to pick like game hosted, like old school Minecraft.
Yeah. How many players can be on a server?
Well, it depends on how many your server can handle.
Right, but what were the numbers you were looking at?
Anywhere between 2 and 25.
Oh wow, that's 25 is way more than I thought. I kind of thought it was like a 2 to 4 person.
See, now you're totally the opposite spectrum of me. I was completely disappointed with this. When they announced Don't Starve Together, I'm thinking they're going to be hosting like maybe 5 to 10 servers of like actual like 1 to 500 people per server.
Oh god,
no! I thought this was going to be like major
like,
lands.
Don't Starve MMO.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of. I was thinking about.
I thought that'd be cool.
But think how cool it would be if you had major lands and.
I more look at that game as if I had 2 to 3 or 4 friends, let's all hop on and try to see how long we can survive.
Well, good news. Saya was on. She saw me pop into it, and she's like, "OMG!" You know, like she didn't say OMG, but I said OMG. Like it is like her reaction.
No, it's dead on.
It's paraphrased, and so she's just like, "I'll start a server. Do we need one?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because you totally know with all the gaming groups we know and all the friends we have and all those gaming groups, you're gonna get like 5, maybe 8 people logging in the first night, and then no one for 2 weeks before it dies. She's like, "I'm in, totally no problem. I will hook you up with a server." So she's gonna host a dedicated server. What are you typing? It's because it's gonna come through all through this.
Wasn't typing.
Yeah.
I was listening.
I have a very mechanical keyboard, and it's going to come all the way through on there. Come all over come all over what I'm saying.
I get it. It's innuendo. I get it.
I'm sorry. Was that too much? I'm sorry. Was that too vulgar for you, sir? I mean, you're a gentleman.
I don't appreciate that kind of humor.
I apologize.
No, it's fine. I gotta, swing by the gutter every once in a while just to see how the other side lives.
You dick. You're a dick. Okay.
So, would you just prefer Don't Starve solo? Prepare to go solo coming up 1994?
That's what I'm going to be playing. I mean, because honestly, like we're going to have. I told her, I was like, that's what it's going to be, is like, we're all going to play, and by all, I mean like 4 interested people play, and then within 2 to 3 nights, that's it. Because there's not enough interaction to...
But, I don't...
No, hang on, but you know what go ahead. You go ahead.
I don't think that's the type of game that you want. It's not like Minecraft servers you're logging into. I mean, it's, a game lasts as long as it lasts, and then you start over.
That was my other problem. I did log into a server, actually, and because they had this, it said, large world, everyone welcome, so I popped into that, and I lived for like 3 or 4 days, and then I died, and it's actually, I will say, the night is not full of terrors on the multiplayer. It goes so fast compared to, like, the solo game.
That's weird.
Couple of torches, and I was fine. And, we usually, like, nighttime is like, oh, crap, like, right away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, that was ridiculously easy, because when I logged into the server, it was, like, kind of close to nighttime already, So anyway, I made it through a few days, but then, and it's my fault, I don't do any research on Don't Starve, because I kind of like trying to figure out what the thing is, and on my own, I've never been able to figure out, like, what keeps you from going insane, like, all those little visions and things.
Yeah, I don't
You go crazy. Okay, well, someone on the server said, eat mushrooms, and they called me a name.
Gotta love the internet.
Yeah, a certain color of mushrooms. I think it's the green ones. Maybe it's the blue. It's one of those colors. It's not the red ones. I don't know what the red ones do, but it was not the red ones, because I was right next to a red one, and it was not a red one, so I walked away from the red one. And if it's if the color doesn't matter, then I'm gonna be mad, because I totally died, and I became a ghost, which is different from the solo player game. And then I could haunt things. I could haunt trees and the flowers. If I haunted a flower, sometimes they would become evil flowers.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and then I would I haunted a tree. A lot of times I haunted a tree and nothing happened, but I haunted a pine tree and it came out of the ground and became like one of those walking tree monsters.
So I'm wondering if they added that into the together version to give people something to do after they die.
I asked in the server, because that was a larger server, one of the 25-ish, max people, and there was like 20-ish people in there. I was like, well, what do I do? And they're like, you died? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like,
you dumb fuck.
Pretty much. And they were like, well, go away. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Go to another server.
Well, they said you have to get resurrected, which costs them resources that they've collected.
I know, it doesn't look like they were going to do it.
Yeah, no, it did not seem like they were going to do that. And they said, or you have to find a touchstone. Well, since I've only been there for like 3 game days, which is not much time actual, I hadn't found one yet. And they said, or you can log off, because your spirit, the more dead spirits we have on the server, actually increases our likelihood of insanity in our characters.
That's just like real life.
Well, so like they were more angry towards me to go, rather than it being encouraging to resurrect me, like I would assume. No, it was like, no, log off. And like I logged off and I tried to log back in and I was still a ghost. So I think like the only way you could ever get resurrected on that server, according to the people I was with,
which, I mean,
yeah,
they were super helpful. So
they were super helpful and nice. So that's what I'm going with. Credible, totally credible. Seemed like that was it. And I, when it comes to survival games like that, I know I should look it up, especially like I'm doing a podcast and stuff, I should look it up. But that to me defeats the fun of a survival game. The whole point of a survival game to me is to figure it all out. Like as I'm going through it, it is failure after failure after failure, and then that success. Like that's what I want, that experience. And I don't want to dominate straight out of the gate out of boredom because I already know all the answers. That's not fun to me.
Yeah, no, totally. I would be interested in Saya, you, me, someone else, maybe just kind of go dicks around on a server. That's
the thing. Like she'll put them up, but like the fun part would be as if we're all on at the same time. Could we?
Yeah.
Could we plan like a weekly Don't Starve night, like Don't Starve Tuesdays or something?
Oh yeah, I would try
together Tuesdays.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean,
I know we always try that, and
give it a shot, see if it sticks.
yeah, because I'm kind of playing a couple other things at the time. So, but anyway, I've dominated with my evening of Don't Starve Together and my failure of trying to get into Tree of Life. What did you do this week?
I played a bunch of Elder Scrolls Online.
I have to ask, how did you play it?
On the PC.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You didn't convert it over?
No, I was really murky on that. As soon as I looked up the console stuff, because I knew it was coming out, and as soon as I saw that it's not shared servers, which I suspected it wasn't, I just didn't even bother. But I guess you could transfer a character?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I saw on Twitter a couple of people said, oh yeah, I transferred over no problem. So
but can you transfer back and forth?
I don't know that. I think it might be a one-time transfer deal.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I would like it more if they did. Isn't Final Fantasy either, like, you could just play on anything?
It's shared servers.
Yeah.
Which I suspected because hardly anyone ever does that. But I totally would have bought it.
But once Final Fantasy did it, why wouldn't everyone do it? Especially come out so far after.
Well, see, part of the problem is Final Fantasy is only on PS4, and Elder Scrolls is on Xbox and PS4.
But it's also on but they're all also on PC, which is probably the most complicated medium to get on everything.
I don't know. I think you're dealing with, I think it's infinitely more painful when you're dealing with the interface of. But and part of the problem too is with Final Fantasy, whenever you have to outroll a patch, you have to roll it out to all the consoles at the same time as well. So I'm guessing if this works anything like Warframe did, like you could there was a point.
I'm sorry, I don't know how Warframe works.
Well, Warframe was this kind of the same thing as Elder Scrolls is. They're only PS4 servers and PC servers, but there was a point where both game versions were lined up with the exact same content, exact same patches, and they said at this point you can transfer a character over from one to the other, but only during this period because the PC version was so far ahead in patches after that just the game versions weren't compatible with each other. So you can't transfer now.
I get that. Yeah, you have to roll it out at the same time, otherwise.
So yeah, I'm wondering if the PC version of Elder Scrolls is farther ahead. If that makes it any.
What about the Neverwinter?
Those are separate.
Is it separate?
Yeah.
Okay. So the only one that's shared is the Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And Final Fantasy 11, I think, has the distinction of the only game that was on multiple, because that was PS2, Xbox 360, and PC. So it was like Microsoft, Sony, and PC games all on one network. And I think that's the only game that's ever done that.
When that did that, I didn't, I got to be honest, I never tried that game because of, honestly, it was word of mouth. The things I heard about that game, I didn't think it was for me. The more hardcore nature of it, I didn't think I would get into. And honestly, I didn't have any friends that play MMOs playing that game, so it wasn't something that drew me in. But I kind of regret that because since then I've met people who really, really loved that game and really got into that.
A lot of people love that game.
Yeah, and then
I think it was a lot of people's first MMO because of being Final Fantasy players. I remember I was at a GameStop the day it came out for PS2. I was there for something else, and there were tons of people who were there wearing Final Fantasy stuff getting the game. Probably weren't, and that was on PS2. They probably didn't play anything on PC. I'm just guessing.
Oh my god!
But I
remember going in and reserving my copy of World of Warcraft, and I reserved it at a game because, of course, I had the CDs back then, and I was reserving it. And we went in, and you were checking on something else, something else that you were checking on. And I asked the guy behind the counter, I'm like, "So are you guys having a WoW launch?" And he goes, "A what? A WoW launch?" He goes, "What's a WoW?" And I said, "A World of Warcraft." And he goes, "Oh, the MMO that's coming?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "No, we're not going to do a launch for because I was expecting like a midnight release, and you were like, Shannon, they're not going to do a launch for an MMO." And like, it's so funny in hindsight.
Well, yeah. But
Yeah.
at that point, it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, but I was right.
No, you should have gone back and thrown that guy's face.
Yeah, he probably
Like
didn't
it's
work
his
there
fault.
anymore. He probably like graduated from college and went into something very much more successful. So
You're guessing.
yeah.
Big
But anyway, I was just thinking like back to that time. Like, I mean, we're talking about Final Fantasy 11, and now we're talking about Final Fantasy 14. And Final Fantasy 14 right now is like so much more popular. I mean, my God, it came back from being a disaster. I mean, which never happens, and it's
No,
just
that's
been
pretty unprecedented.
completely, unprecedented.
And their
event. But-
expansion's coming out anytime now.
yeah, and they're doing basically like they're now having to take these baby steps into, like they're doing the PlayStation 4 and all that. They're kind of having to take these baby steps where Final Fantasy 11 already did more than that to integrate it into more systems, and it's weird that they've had to take this kind of back step and try to struggle forward again to get this
I'd be
progress.
really interested in knowing exactly where all that stuff falls apart. Because I'm sure developers and publishers have a lot of pie in the sky ideas about what they're going to do. And I'm guessing they probably researched, hey, let's put this on Xbox One as well and have the same servers. But where does all that stuff fall apart? Is it Microsoft's fault? Is it Sony's fault? Is it all of them?
No one's ever really opened up
I know.
about that stuff. Yeah, about that. But it seems odd that Final Fantasy XI could do it, but no MMOs since.
Maybe something else has, but I can't recall anything.
Nothing as major league as that.
No. I mean, there haven't been many MMOs anyway, but
And that's why I think it's very funny that we're now amazed that Final Fantasy XIV can do that shared thing with just one, console company, whereas Final Fantasy XI had been doing it for years already.
I'll be interested if because when Sony Online sold to, I can't remember the name of the company, Daybreak, yeah.
Daybreak.
They were, SOE was in the process of bringing PlanetSide 2 to PS4, which it's, I think, coming out this month maybe. But then they when it became Daybreak, they said, well, we're also going to bring it to PlanetSide. I mean, we're going to bring it to Xbox, which they're not going to be the same servers as PC anyway, just because they didn't want to do a shooter on console versus PC. But they now own DCUO, which is the PS4 and PC versions are cross-platform. So I'm interested if Daybreak will try to bring that to Xbox and have shared servers. I don't know if they've talked about it or what, but that might be the only other one that might have a chance of doing that.
I apologize for the pause. I just tried to pull Daybreak up. Yeah. He's going to step away, check on our son real quick. But I just tried to pull Daybreak up, and it's Google is pulling up a spa. So that's not good. Daybreak. Game company, there it is. No. Oh my god, where's their website? Nope. That's... Their video game stuff is coming up, but their logo's not coming up. That is so bizarre. You talk to the live stuff. Pull that over, I guess. Do they have a link? There we go. Ha 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 ha! That's not attractive. Okay, well, we got it. Yay! You missed me being hilarious. J-Dub, welcome to the late party. He will be hilarious again. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
That's all he can do. I gotta edit out all of the live chat for the real show, I guess. Anywho. Did we wrap up what we were saying then?
Yeah.
Would you say? Okay.
Put a bow on it.
Well, because I mean, it's nothing we can answer definitively at all as to why. Like, they seem to have made, like, the part that, I'm sorry, that I just keep going back to is I was so excited about the progress that was, I mean, EverQuest online, like, was on PlayStation. Remember EverQuest Adventures? Game. No, EverQuest Adventures, right?
Right, but that wasn't a PC game.
But that was the first iteration of going to console with MMOs, and then Final Fantasy XI. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, the first iteration of a major MMO going to consoles that I knew about, like, to be, you know. And then after that, Final Fantasy XI did this thing that, like, went out to all these consoles, and it seems like we've taken a major step, despite the fact of these, like, massive successful, you know, MMOs since then.
And I think people kind of hoped these new consoles brought a lot of modern features to them, that this was going to be a little bit different.
Well, it only stands to reason. I mean, so many people have said, like, modern consoles are pretty much hard drives. They're very easy to program forward and transfer PC games to. Yeah. So, it seems to me like it should have gotten easier since Final Fantasy XI, not more difficult.
Well, that's why I think it's more of legal and or just company problems. Red tape.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I wish I had played EQ Adventures. I'm hearing people talk about it recently, and J-Dub's talking about it in the chat. Some people, he says it's interesting, and I've heard a lot of people say it was complete garbage, but a couple people who really loved it.
We actually, like, our favorite couple that we met in Dark Age of Camelot, like our bestest friends that we hung out with all the time in that game, like, they actually met in that game, right? Mm-hmm. And got married.
Yeah. So something good came out of it.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, you don't hear a lot about that game and the personal connections that came out of that game, but it definitely, you know, those things were there and happened, and it doesn't seem like, I don't know, it seems like that community almost dissolved. Or people don't talk about it. When people talk about their first MMOs, you never hear people talk about that game.
Or console, yeah, I guess. There's probably a lot of people, their first MMO was...
And that was...
the console Final Fantasy, but yeah.
Well, but yeah, the people we talked to, that was their first, and like the guild they were in that game, that was, you know, a whole group of people that was their first introduction to MMOs. And it just seems odd that, you know, you don't really run into a lot. Maybe that game just wasn't as popular as we thought it was, but at the time, MMOs weren't that popular. I mean, we're talking pre-World of Warcraft era. We're talking where DAOC, having 1,500 people online on a server at one time, was just, you know, that was astonishing.
Yeah.
So, different times. Anyway.
Memories. Yeah, we're old.
We're getting nostalgic. You know, what do you want from us? Okay, we won't go nostalgic. We'll go modern. Tesso has released on the console. We're going back into the modern era of things, right? And you were saying, like, you're playing that.
Yeah.
That's to get back to why we started talking about this.
I'm playing on PC, but yeah.
But you don't interact then with anyone on the console?
No, it's completely separate. Which I want to know how the character transfer stuff works. Like, because I've noticed a lot of people on Twitter who play Tesso on the PC bought the console version. And if it's like you can freely switch your character back and forth, I might look into it. But I don't want to do it if you can. It's a one-time switch. I heard like many moons ago. I don't know what it is right now. Maybe they may have changed it since I've heard this. I'm talking like 6 to 7 months ago. Oh, I have hiccups. I'm sorry. I heard like 6 to 7 months ago that it was a one-time transfer deal. It was like kind of one of these deals like, buy it now, get your character started on the PC, and then you can always transfer it to your console game. It was... What's a bargain?
Well, it was to motivate, yes. Pay the subscription for 6 months longer.
Hey, don't wait for the console version. You can buy this now. Give us money now, and give us money then.
And then what? It's been like how many months since launch?
It was delayed a long time.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be at launch originally.
Oh,
console.
Ridiculously not, yeah. So, yeah, they were supposed. I think the deal is not that it's switch back and forth. I think the deal in quotation marks here is that you get to no. We let you buy it on PC, and now you can switch it.
We're doing you a favor.
You got to build up your character for all that time.
Think about how much fun you're going to have building it up.
No, you don't have to build it up again. You've already built it up, and now think about how far ahead you're going to be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
That's more like, I think, how it was sold.
I really like the game.
Oh my god, it's a great game. I'm not ripping on that. I just, as a gamer, as a player, I am disappointed in that I can't just play wherever. I want to sit. Maybe I want to play on my couch one night. Maybe I want to play at my desk one night. But sometimes the desk is not so comfy for me, so I want to play in my bed.
It's frustrating because you can see that writing on the wall that at some point it's going to be like that.
Yes, it's obviously available. I mean, Final Fantasy, like we just said, Final Fantasy 11 has been doing this for years and years and years, and it's a proprietary issue, right?
I'm guessing.
I mean, these are assumptions based on absolutely no fact.
Yeah.
That I'm going to state dramatically.
Irresponsible speculation.
Yes, that's what we sell you, ladies and gentlemen. Bam, our irresponsible speculation. And, well, okay, my annoyance is that it seems very easy. Well, not easy. It seems like you could do it.
Just do it.
Just do it, goddammit.
Just get it done.
Oh, I mean, they do it. That guy does it. Why can't you do it?
Yeah. He's cooler than you.
And they'll be like, then go play Final Fantasy 11, bitch.
I like the PvP in that game. I tried some of it this week.
11?
Again. No, Elder Scrolls.
Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome.
I did some of the keep stuff. I hadn't done it in a long time.
We went out with Belgast and his crew.
Oh, I know. I'm saying I did it.
That was super awesome. Yeah.
Went out with my archer, who has stealth talents. Just whipped around that area. No one saw me. Got into a keep defense and helped. Then stealthed out. It was pretty sweet.
You'd love that.
I'm going to do some more of that.
You're a sneaky bitch.
Mm-hmm.
J-Dub's telling me that ESO doesn't have a controller patch on the PC.
No, it's supposed to be coming. They have
But they already launched it on the Xbox.
Well, yeah, it just came out. But they supposedly are adding...
Why can't I just download it? I don't know,
it goes back to what we were just saying. Just do it.
God, it's exhausting. You can do it. Just stop being a bitch about it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the developers, obviously.
Oh, you absolutely do.
No, the developers totally know how to do this and can totally do it.
Just plug it in.
Yeah,
Hit the controller button.
I would say there's a higher up issue.
It's a fact ass. You don't want them to add.
Oh, just let me give you money.
The console version.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you money.
They're going to pay you. They're going to sell you.
I will give you money.
To use a controller on the PC.
Stop being so weird about things.
It's going to be a paid mod.
I'll pay. Wouldn't you pay like an extra $2 a month to play anywhere? No, two.
No, I thought we were talking about controllers.
No. Oh, well, God, no. The controller seems obvious to me. Like, just install that shit. I'm talking about playing anywhere. But yeah, okay, controller. No, I wouldn't pay for the controller.
No.
Well, that just seems like a mod you should download right away, immediately.
Yeah.
Anywho, I gotta stop saying that. It's really annoying to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Okay, well, we're kind of far into the show. We have an announcement to make. That's not really an announcement.
Yeah, I'm pregnant.
You're going to make me say it, aren't you?
We're ending multiplaying?
Yeah, we are. This is the second to last show.
The penultimate? Isn't that the saying for it?
I don't know.
Right before the end?
Is it?
I might have it slightly wrong.
What is that from?
That's the term for like the next to last.
For what?
It's for anything.
Anything ever?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we are going to
penultimate. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Penultimate This is the penultimate episode of the Multiplaying show. Next week, we are still in debates as to whether next week will be on a Thursday or a Friday, by the way. Scheduling issues have arisen because we think, Jason and I, think it would be better to do the show on a Friday. And Steve is unavailable because Rhode Island doesn't have phones, so we can't get a hold of him. But never fear, we are launching a new show, which is going to be indistinguishable from this show. Called the MMO show. And so all it will require is if you are someone who subscribes to this show simply through your phone, you'll have to subscribe to the MMO show at that time. I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just going to say we're going to be launching the new podcast on PC and consoles.
Simultaneously. Yeah. Let's see. We will have Punchy play. I can't even say what he's saying. Hard ways of saying difficult words.
Multiplaying. It's the second to last episode. It's Multiplaying.
It is. So we decided we can't end Multiplaying without Slurms. It just seems wrong. He's been with us the longest. I mean, Jason and I were there for Cotcast 0. Like, that's how we started this thing, and so we kind of figured we should at least announce it. And but we didn't think it would be right to end it because it's developed into so much more than that, and the community's developed into so much more than that. We're not actually stopping the gaming community. We have full intentions of still being a part of the Multiplaying forums. We actually still have plans to be doing our guild for Camelot Unchained through that forum website. The only difference is simply that this podcast has grown into a bigger community of people, and we no longer simply represent the Multiplaying forum community, and so we have guests on from and a lot of our forum community have gone on to other things, and then other people have come on to be guests on our show, and it's just not a representation of our forum community, especially because we're not actually gaming anything as a community regularly at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No, you're right.
Awesome contribution. I'll fill the space.
Well, let me talk about it.
Okay. So yeah, the show will still go on, is the whole thing about it. You're typing while I'm talking, and you're not talking when I'm asking.
I gotta go out like we went in.
No. If you have something to say, share.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, you're frustrating. I'm so glad you're on the podcast. I can't wait for the MMO E3 launch trailer. I don't know what that means.
For our new podcast.
For that? For the E3, they're going to be covering us. We were invited.
We have our own press conference.
It was a prestigious invite. But yeah, so this podcast is ending. The new one's coming up. But what we're going to do is there's going to be a gap between some pod feeders don't actually pick up new shows on a first episode. So instead of making you go through this lull, I know personally, I don't want to listen to, I don't want to go without a podcast for 4 weeks and then have to catch up to 4 hours of a podcast to catch up to where they are. I mean,
people love to binge watch.
No, I have other podcasts I listen to, so I don't like that. So what I'm going to do, because honestly I'm the one going to be doing it, I'm still going to load episodes onto the Multiplaying feed simultaneously with the MMO show feed until we get into iTunes and Stitcher and stuff. So you will have plenty of notice, and so you'll be able to keep up with it, and until we get accepted into whatever various requirements and hoops they have us jump through, you'll be able to do that. We already have an RSS feed set up for the new show, but so if you're old school, if you just go to themmmoshow.com, you'll be able to see the RSS feed for that. plug that in, and you can get the double whammy, I guess, because we've got that Multiplaying double feed going. Is that cool?
That sounds cool to me.
All right, next week we are in a little bit of a debate as to the date. My idea for the last show, I would really, really, really like to encourage, if you are listening to the show and you like us at all, and you have in the past liked us at all, get on our Twitch channel for that. You just go to www.twitch.tv/multiplaying on either a Thursday or Friday night. At this point, we're aiming for Friday night next week, so it would be June 19th. But we cannot confirm that with Slurms because he's on vacation, so the worst possibility is it's the 18th, but we're trying for the 19th between Jason and I. Right, sir?
Yes, that's the...
It would be
target.
better because we could go later. For the final episode, we don't care if we go late, right?
No. I'd rather much do it that. It would be much more festive.
Yeah, like what I want to do is, if you've ever liked our show, if you've ever thought, like, I would love to be on that just once to just say blah, blah, blah. Or if I would just like to say, like that this is my favorite memory of the show, or this is what got me listening, or anything at all, or just say, you know what, hey guys, good luck on the next show. Anything at all, like even if it's 2 seconds like that, that's fine. Give me your Skype information. We'll pull you into the show so you can say that, have that little moment, and then we'll have to kind of invite people and cut them off, because of how Skype's quality tends to deteriorate when you invite like a bajillion people. But you can come in, we'll give you your time to say your say, and then you can tell us off. I don't care. It'll be an interesting show. And then, that'll be our final show, like our whole thing, right?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Doesn't I think
sounds like Carson having all the guests coming at the end.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I just thought, we have so many people who are, I don't even think of them as guest stars. I think of them as, co-hosts. Obviously, Grok and Pezalipo and Taden and, just everybody. People have been on the show, so many times. So, there's people who rival me for how many times they've been on the show.
Yeah. They should all come on, get it all out of their system.
Jada,
once a new
Panta,
show
Hardways,
starts,
everybody. Come on and say hello and whatever. So,
after that,
we are
the new
aiming
show
for Friday night.
Just talking about Horizons.
We will probably talk a ridiculous amount about Horizons. Come on.
You're going to hate it.
I'm really going to aim for Friday night, but I have to hear from Slurms to confirm it. So Thursday's the worst.
If we don't do a Friday night, it's all his fault.
If only there was some technological device where I could contact him through voice or text or something when he doesn't have...
That's a pipe dream. Thinking anything
computer.
Like that.
I don't know how that would happen and work, but...
Maybe get Paul Revere to go down there.
Maybe someday. So we're hoping, and if you're listening to this and you've always wanted to be on the show and you're like, someday I'll contact them, I'll be on the show. It's your last chance to be on actual Multiplaying. But you can always send in a couple, a little tiny bit, little voice clip, a WAV file, if you will. Record it on your computer. Send it to our email at multiplaying@gmail.com. We'll edit it into the show at the end. Anyone who wants to say anything on the final show. And we're actually going to keep the final show archived up for at least 6 months, if not a year. I would like to aim for a year. We're looking at cost issues there, keeping up 2 shows. But I think we can do a year. No big deal. So we'll go for that. Also, we'd also like to invite anyone who wants to be on the new show, anyone who's ever been on our old show, this show, Multiplaying. We want you to be on the MMO show. It's simply because we're not really a gaming community focused show anymore. We're more of just us talking about MMOs and additional gaming from time to time. Is that right?
Yeah, no, it's it's most people we've had on, we've kind of had a focus on talking about MMOs.
We've always,
So,
that's how we
continue that.
started. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of look at it. It's going to be a lot of the same, maybe a little bit more focused. We'll still kind of throw in asides if we've been playing, kind of like we played Splatoon recently. We definitely would have talking about that at least to give it its due. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, like Splatoon. Actually, I want to run a segment at the end called Cheating on MMOs. So that you and Slurms and occasionally I can talk about other things we're playing. Because I would say almost always, if we are playing something else, it's something that our gaming community is also playing, and
I got an idea.
or it's a multiplayer game, and so it fudges that line occasionally. And then also, I would. What's your idea?
Okay, weekly night trap podcast called.
Jason, I'm going to commit you right now on the MMO show. Pick a night of the week, and you play Night Trap. And we put it on our schedule for the Twitch channel for the MMO show. Can you do that?
I'll do that.
Can you do that? You're going to play it every week?
Every week?
How many weeks you're going to do? Can you do it for a month?
Oh, I could do. You mean like 4 weeks of it?
4 weeks in a row of Night Trap.
I could do that. Yeah.
What night of the week would you like to do that on?
I would like to do that on a Friday.
You could. Yeah, well, but we're going to have friends over on Fridays, and so.
I don't tell you then.
Why can't you do it on?
I can do it on Saturday.
Okay. Well, no, you can't because
I need booze.
Okay, I see what you're going for. We'll talk this out.
Okay, but
You're not coming through.
my Night Trap segment. It's called. I looked at the trap ray. That's awesome.
All right, you can have that, and we will work out a 1 month thing where 4 weeks in a row Jason does Night Trap.
I looked at the trap ray.
And but that's going to be a separate segment on the MMO Show Twitch channel. This
It's from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. We're still going to keep the same schedule: summertime Thursdays, wintertime Fridays. We actually haven't been able to do our summertime commitments yet, so it's been a little frustrating. But yeah, maybe you can work that out.
Yeah.
But you got to do it right away. You got to pick a date.
Okay.
All right, you gonna do it?
Yeah, I don't know. 4 weeks might be kind of burning it by the end. I would say do at least 2 weeks.
That's it?
I could try. I could shoot for 4.
That's not even worth putting on the schedule. That's a random encounter.
Okay, no, I'll do 4. It's going to be me going through it a lot and trying to get the perfect score and always missing one and getting annoyed because that's what always happens.
Then I think you got 4 tries to do that.
Oh, I can do it.
Well, you've only got 4 tries.
Okay, or I could stream until I do it. Perfect.
Yeah, but you're
It's
not.
just going to be much more difficult talking and streaming and all that.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to pay attention to your chat channel and all that. Yeah, it could add a level of difficulty you're not accustomed to. Anyway,
Any excuse.
we're gonna do some Night Trap crap.
I look at the trap ray.
And maybe if that is successful, you could do some other old school games like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have a weekly segment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, no, he doesn't want to do that. I could
Let's
tell.
start with
I could totally tell by his non-committal. Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking if there's
Every
anything
freaking
else I
week.
could do.
What?
I was just thinking about other games I could do. That's why I was.
Oh, I see. Yeah, and I know that's not MMO related, but part of our charm is that we've always been prone to wild tangents, and we're not going to lose that. Like, the MMO show is not the MMO news show. Like, you can get the news anywhere. Like, if you like this show, you're going to get this show. So, the MMO show is just simply us talking about what we're playing that week. And I would say, like, this game was founded on the fact that we were all MMO players playing MMOs together, and we've always kind of had that focus. Occasionally we drift off, and it's still going to be the same show. The thing we're cutting out is we tried to kind of incorporate a little bit more of, like, geek culture, I guess you would call it, like with the TV shows and stuff that we like, the movies that we like, the comic books, or Star Wars stuff that we like. But honestly, it didn't really work. We gave a very superficial commentary on all of it because we were so afraid to give spoilers, because I don't want to ruin that for people, because I like that experience I have and other people like that experience I have the first time they experience it. And yes, I want to recommend it, but they're not really getting that, that great podcasting experience by saying, it's so cool, I can't tell you, you just gotta watch it. And not to mention the fact that Slurms, week after week, has not watched any of the movies or any of the shows to keep up with them. Huh?
What a loser.
Well, no, I mean, it's just that's just the facts. He has not, that's not something he's focused on. He's usually way behind the curve. And so we're not timely on it. And then on top of that, someone else mentioned that we wanted to do a book club. And that sounded like, I was so excited. I'm like, this is going to be so great. We're going to pick like the best like geek books, and it's going to be so awesome. And my first one, I insisted we're going to do Ready Player One. That's going to be our first one out of the gate, because that's how we're going to set the tone for all of this. I'm getting a lot of chirps here on the Twitter feed, but anyway, then I realized, like, we can't even keep up with a half-hour show, like, once a week. How are we going to keep up with a book club? Like, we need... These things are things we love to do as people, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a show about every single thing we like. So we're going to try and keep that balance between still include what we personally enjoy, but maybe not have the whole show focus on every single little thing at the same time. So you'll have these specialized tangential shows that we tend to have, and for the most part we'll still focus on the MMO thoughts of the week that we have. And we might not be covering the biggest news of the week, but it's still our thoughts on our week in MMOs. Does that seem fair?
Totally.
And it's kind of what we've always delivered.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I feel like I've done all the talking. I'm exhausted. You go with the next segment.
Isn't that the last segment?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I got this next one covered.
All right.
Let's wrap it up.
Do you have any tangents you want to go? I really expected you to tangent for at least 15 minutes.
Like an hour.
Huh?
We did like an hour.
I know we did, but I really expected a much longer tangent. Is there like 20 minutes of me we can cut? I feel like I talked like so long.
No, it's me. I mean, I looked at the trap ray. That was one.
You did. You covered that.
I'm excited for that.
Are you really going to do it?
I will totally do that. I need some structure, so this helps. If this is like, hey, do it for this many weeks and then pick a day and time, that helps me.
Yeah, we tried that. Yeah, we tried that, and then we picked Tara. And
that was the problem right there.
That didn't go so well. Yeah. I guess we can give it a go. All right.
So next week,
Thursday and or Friday.
This is the end of the penultimate episode.
Friday. Huh?
This is the end of the penultimate episode.
Yes, it is. Hopefully Friday, maybe Thursday. We're really trying to. We've got a messenger en route. What is it when they send the ... the telegraph? We've got a telegraph going out to Rhode Island to see if they can connect with Slurms. To see if
we set the transporter.
Honest to God,
he's driving his car out there.
Honest to God, he doesn't care about Thursday or Friday. He never has. It was more us that had stuff to do on Friday. So if we say we're available on next Friday, I think it's okay, right?
Yes, but this will be like the 1 week he's the Hot Dick Johnson.
Of course. Yes. No, I totally agree. But we're going to try to plan on next Friday. I know I typed up next Thursday because we came up with this plan before he left for Rhode Island, for the incommunicative Rhode Island. But we're going to try for Friday. Right?
Yeah, no, that's what I would think is best.
I think so. We're going to go later. Yeah. That'd be good.
You can clear with the network.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, that's really cool, too. We're a part of the Gaming and Entertainment Network, and we let them know about our change, and they seemed unfazed by it. They were super happy to invite us into the network again with our new show. Generally, they don't do new shows, but we told them it's pretty much a name change type of deal, and they seemed fine with it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. Really good to have that support, and really good show of support, I would say, through Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, everybody. So, it's a good group of gamers we've come to know through all this crap.
That's why we do it.
Actually, yeah, that's totally why I do it.
So, all right, let's wrap it up. I'm calling it.
You're calling it.
I'm calling it.
It's done.
Yep.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso.
Show's over, folks.
You can't go! All the plants are going to die. Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.
This podcast is part of the Game and Entertainment Network. Visit tgenetwork.net to find the latest episodes from all our shows.